All right, guys. Hope you all are doing well. Josh will be in just a moment, and we are glad. Hopefully, people will join. This is going to be the telltale of the future of lives on the group. So we posted it. We did our part. Now it's you guys' turn to do your part and join the live. So yeah, that's going to be the telltale here as to what the future of the lives in this group's going to be, whether we do any more or whether we say screw it and not ever do another one. So it's all up to you guys. But anyway, I'm waiting for Joshua. While I'm waiting for him, I'm going to go get a water and I'll be right back. All right, as promised. Okay, so while I'm waiting for Josh, guys, go check them out. Go to Really.com. This is the plantain sweet, and they are really delicious, non-GMO, gluten-free, free of the top 12 allergens, grain-free, seed oil-free, glyphosate-free, and they only have 2 ingredients. So, and they're dairy-free too, by the way. All of their stuff is dairy-free. So if you're on a dairy-free diet and gluten-free diet, you got to go get some. Go to Reely.com, Reelie.com, and get yours. Save 25% with checkout code, all capital letters, Hurricanes 25, the number 25. Hurricanes 25 to save 25%. And we're going to bring Josh in since he's here. And while he's coming in, I'm going to open these up. And this is what the sweets look like. So, yeah. And they're good. They're naturally sweetened. There's no artificial sweeteners or anything in it. So, it's just made with plantains and, yeah, and palm fruit oil. That's it. So, there you go. A bunch of jerks. All right. Well, I just got done eating dinner myself, but okay, guys. This isn't going to be long.
No.
If you're watching later, we'd rather for you to be in the live, but to be quite honest with you, Josh and I have put a lot of time and effort into this stuff, and tonight is going to be the telltale whether we ever do another live or not. So we posted it. We got close to 200 people that saw it. We had 20 likes, so I'm expecting at least 10 people in here. If we don't get but 2 or 3 people in here, then we're never doing another live, point blank. We're not going to waste our time because it's not worth the waste of time that we sit here every night that we do a live for only 2 people to join. It's not worth our time. And if y'all don't care no more about it than that, then we don't care no more about it than to post anymore, to do any more lives. So there's that. Yeah, blunt, it was to the point, but sometimes y'all need that. So with no further ado, we're going to start the show, and it's going to end at 8 o'clock if we don't get any participation. Participation, we'll extend it to answer questions and take comments, but nobody joins. We may even cut it off at 15 minutes. So it's all up to y'all, because we're not going to waste our time on this SHIT. So there you go. So, well, first of all, let's talk about the playoffs a little bit.
8th year in a row?
Huh?
8th year in a row?
8th year in a row. We got the division and we got the conference.
Yep. Finished second overall.
Finished second overall. We ended up with 7 players that scored 20 or more goals. Not points, goals.
Had an 8th person 2 goals away.
Yep. Taylor Hall.
Yep.
So, not bad. Not bad on the regular season at all.
That was franchise record, by the way. Most players with 20 goals in a season. 7.
Wow.
That's a franchise record.
Yep.
For the Hurricanes. Other thing we want to say is last 7 years, been at least past the first round. Let's make it 8.
Yeah.
Let's go 8 straight with that.
Oh, yeah.
And as of now, for anyone who's paying attention, anybody who's watching this later, as of now, they have not yet announced the times. The rumor that's going around is Saturday home game, Monday home game for us.
Yeah.
For game 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything different. The NHL's not dropped anything. The teams in the East are already set. Mm-hmm. My guess is it's either going to be tomorrow afternoon or at some point tomorrow night before we know for sure how the final seeding shakes out. Because if I remember last year, they didn't announce it until everyone finished.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to break tomorrow night. But the rumor going around is that there's a 2 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, and an 8 o'clock slot on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rumor.
Yeah.
Because you want to have a network pick up the different games. So, TV, visual people want to see it, stats, rankings, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we know.
Yeah. And so there was a lot of confusion about why Pyotr Kochetkov didn't play last night. The reason he didn't play was too many players were called up. Even though he's NHL, he was listed as AHL.
Yep.
And he was one too many players on the roster. So they had to drop somebody, and they couldn't drop a skater, so they had to drop the goalie, which put Brandon Bussey in net, which he played impressive. I thought he also was he was impressive in net. I think he made a good, strong case as to why they should start him in game 1.
His last 2 starts were, I think, some of the better that we've seen from him since the break.
Yeah.
And anybody, the smart money is saying that Rod's going to go with Freddie because Bussey is an unknown in the playoffs. If he wants to start Freddie game 1, that's fine. I don't want Freddie overworked, and by the time we reach the Eastern Conference Final.
What's going on, Sam?
What's going on? I don't want to see us getting messed up by then. That's probably my biggest thing.
Any questions or comment, Sam? Post them. Ask.
Drop them.
Comment. We'll talk to you.
Smart money definitely says Freddie gets game 1. Bussey probably picks up game 2. Kochetkov, I don't know how that's going to work out because we have yet to find out. His playoff history isn't as good.
Yeah. Well, here's some scenarios that's been floating around. Islam.
I and he said hello.
Yeah. I have heard 2 or 3. I've heard 2 different rumors, and one of them was that if Bussey finishes out the season strong, then he could very well get the starting position in game 1. I also have heard, tried and true wins the race, and that Anderson has been proven in the playoffs, and so he would be the one to go with. Josh, you and I have talked about this quite a bit. over the past few weeks. I really feel like that if Isam, where are you located at, man?
That's a good question.
I haven't even checked to see. I mean, but yeah, drop a comment and let us know where you're from.
Okay.
But also, I the rumor was that that Bussey could start, but also that Rod's loyal. He's going to go with what he knows. Raleigh, okay, and he's going to go with what he knows and what he feels comfortable with. And I think that could see Anderson getting the nod for game one. Game two most likely would go to Brandon Bussey. The other scenario that I heard was that that Pyotr Kochetkov could be brought in as a third goalie, and they rotate all three so Pyotr could play game three. However, I don't think that that's the case. I believe that the only reason that they would use Pyotr Kochetkov is in an emergency situation, or if one of the goalies' performances started dropping, and that would cause concern for them to pull that goalie and rotate Kochetkov in. I feel like that but I also feel like that Pyotr Kochetkov will be in the playoffs at some point. When and where, I don't know.
Okay.
My best guess would probably be in the third round and rest Anderson for the later round. And I'm not going to say it, but
Yeah.
if they were to make it that far, Anderson would play in the latter rounds, in the latter round. So there's a very good chance that we could see Pyotr come in, rotate with Bussey, maybe even bring Anderson in the latter part of the third round and rotate him out with Pyotr some there, and then rest on both, give them both that rest time that they need going into the rest of the playoffs, we'll say.
Well, why don't we go over to the stat machine, because I've got some stats here. That's the best we could do. We couldn't afford a real machine.
We couldn't afford that machine.
Freddie in 85 playoff games, he's played is 46, 35, and 0. His goals against average is 2.40 with a career save percentage of .914.
Right.
So playoff wise, is an average. That's pretty good as far as your goals against and your save percentage. We do know that elite goalies don't always win the Stanley Cup. And that's something that you and me have talked about. You can win with average to above average goaltending if you have great play.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Franny Anderson's career playoff is better than Kochekov's. And Kochekov has kind of limited because they've turned to him typically when things have started to go downhill.
Yeah.
Do I think Kochekov is a good goalie? Yes. Do I think he's still developing? Absolutely. Freddie, I believe, is at the end of his career. Ricky, hey, how you doing?
Hey, Ricky, how you doing, man? Glad you joined.
If you got questions, comments, inquiries, something you want to say, drop it in the comments below.
Yep. Glad you're feeling better, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Glad to hear you're feeling better. But Freddie Anderson is 46, 35, and 0 in his career playoffs. His goals against average is 2.40 with a career save percentage in the playoffs of .914. I'm just going to put this out there. This is speculation on my part. This is my gut. I usually don't go against my gut. My gut says that Rod is going to turn to Freddie for game one just because of his experience. Yeah. Not because, but Freddie, his last couple of times out, Freddie did play well.
Yeah.
Okay, if I don't go back to the spot, man, I hope you don't go back to the hospital.
Yeah. No. Let's hope not.
At all costs.
Yeah, and Josh, here's something too that I was looking at as well. You know, and you and I discussed this a little bit. Um, we do have Freddie Anderson, who's been to the playoffs several times
Oh
and
gosh.
has gone through the second round and kind of faded out. But to start off with, and then you got Brandon Bussey, who's never played an NHL game until he came to until he came to the Canes. Let's see, with everything going on with me, I have not checked yet. When is the first playoff game? Probably it right now. Rumors are going around that we're playing Saturday, but that's not confirmed. So it will either be Saturday or Sunday. Probably tomorrow night going into Friday we'll know, which is very short notice. But at the earliest, I'd say tomorrow at some point. They still have games to play. The last games are being played tomorrow, so I have a feeling, and I think some of those are for wild card positions, if I'm not mistaken.
The East is pretty well set. It's the West that's maybe got a lot of up in the air, but the seeds are mostly set in the East.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. But we're gonna know a lot more after tonight. I'm thinking
probably
drop the playoff schedule.
Yeah.
Rumor is it's going to be a Saturday, Monday. Again, that's a rumor. Okay, I was going to look and see if anything was confirmed yet. Nothing yet. I just
no.
started.
Hang around, man. If you're able to, hang around.
Yes,
but yeah, but yeah. So and again, Freddie's started. He's played several playoff games. He's been in the playoffs before. Busty's an unknown when it comes to the playoffs. Just simply fact, he only started playing NHL hockey actually in net when he came to us. And he was trash to other people, and we just found a diamond in the rough, man. And here's another thing. I feel like, and this, and I was listening to Adam Gold earlier today, and I kind of feel the same way he does about this. Is that they give Freddie the first game, give Bussy the second game, but I also feel like that they cannot rely on Freddie to go back to backs.
No,
that put too much stress and too much strain on him. And and you and I discussed this yesterday and the day before yesterday that when if they play him back to back, he's not really he's not young as he used to be. And you said this, he's not as young as he used to be, and his recovery time is going to take a little bit longer. So I wouldn't be surprised that if Bussy does really well in the first couple of games that he plays, that we couldn't see him go back to back to give Freddie an extra day, and even maybe in the second, third round, pulling Kochetkov in some. Maybe a game here and there just to rest the guys and to give them an extra day of recovery. I honestly don't think that would be a bad idea. Since we have three goalies, you play three goalies and rotate them. That's what I'm feeling.
I agree. I mean, you give Freddie the benefit. You give him game one. You roll him out there. He's been rested. Bussy played the last two. He ought to be well rested for game one. And then I think if you're Rod, you turn to Bussy and you say, hey, man, everybody on the bus, let's go.
Yep.
And then if you do that, then it takes an extra day before they take it back to Ottawa for game three. Then you can see how he's feeling. Maybe you play Kochetkov. Maybe you turn back to Freddie. I believe that game one's probably Freddie's to lose. I do believe Bussy should pick up game two. That's just the way I feel. Hey, Ron, coming in.
Hey, Ron, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're having a good evening. I am.
But that's kind of how I'm feeling. That's what I'm thinking based on what we know.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I really believe Freddie probably gets game one. They go to Bussy game two. And if it's not that, then I think it's the reverse. Then you're going to see Bussy game 1, Freddie game 2, depending on how Rod's feeling. Doing good, Ron. Ron asked how we were. I'm doing pretty good, Ron.
Doing great.
I could complain, but nobody would listen. I mean, it's all first world problems for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Ron says he's doing very good there. It's good to hear that, Ron. It's good to know you're out there.
Mm-hmm.
Ready for game 1, man. They haven't confirmed it, but we're hoping for a Saturday.
Okay, so here's since we're on, their scores already. Dallas Sabres are tied at 1. Rangers Lightning. Rangers are beating the Lightning right now 1-0. Red Wings are tanking to the Panthers 1-0 for the Panthers, 1-0 Panthers over Red Wings. Maple Leafs have just started there a few minutes in, almost 6 minutes in, and it's tied up 0-0. Sharks start at 8:30 and Kraken Knights start at 10 p.m. in Vegas. And the Sharks are on the road in Chicago.
It's going to be interesting to see how we play game 1. And if we can stay healthy, I feel good about our chances this year. I know that all the Canes are great in the regular season, but they can't do anything in the postseason. But I'm pretty sure this is year number 8 in a row making the playoffs, which, of course, you guys are not fans. He's watching the Dallas game, Ron. Well, right. I'm not a fan of a certain player on Dallas, but, I mean, you know, we already know that Dallas is locked in with playing Minnesota in the first round. That is what I think is going to be one of the best series in the West for round 1. Just my opinion, because Dallas and Minnesota are both really good teams.
Yeah. I'm looking here.
Okay. But I'm very curious to see. I'm really curious to see what Rod does. And this will be the first playoff series we've gone into where we've been fairly healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I know Chatfield left the ice the other night, but he came back.
Yeah.
Which that was scary because we had just gotten him back off of injury. Oh, we got a message here, Ricky Duke. Hopefully we don't come out sluggish. Sometimes I think resting the players backfires. Sometimes not always the case, but it does happen. Well, I do know that they practiced today. They didn't give him the day off today. I know he had him out on the ice skating today and practicing, so he didn't give him the day off. I don't think they're going to get tomorrow off either. They'll probably have a light day tomorrow, maybe a walkthrough, but I'm pretty sure they were working on whatever they think Ottawa's going to run to circumvent that or how to beat Ottawa.
Yeah.
That's what I'm –
So, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think pretty much everything is set in stone as far as who's in, who's out. In the East, of course, Carolina, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Montreal, Boston, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Ottawa are in. Caps, Wings, Jackets, Islanders, Devils, Panthers, Leafs, and Rangers are out. In the Western Conference, Avalanche is in, Dallas is in, Wild, Knights, Mammoth, Oilers, Ducks, and Kings are all in. The ones that are out there, Preds, Sharks, Blues, Jets, Kraken, Flame, Blackhawks, and Canucks are all out. So with this news here, I would say probably tomorrow by noon, we should have something. Let's see. Hey, Kyle, I'm seeing a lot of people saying the Canes won't make it past the second round with our goaltending. What do you think? I think we will. And here's why. That's a really good question. We just kind of touched on this a while ago, but I'll touch on it a little bit more. the reason why I think we will make it past and go further in the second round, or is number one, we've got 3 goalies. Number two, we know that Freddie isn't good after the second round. Going into the third round, he's not that good, and he starts dropping off. Brandon Bussi, we know he's not proven. He is new. The first games that he's played in NHL on NHL ice in the crease is with the Hurricanes. But his record speaks for itself. He's done really well, even though he had that slump after the Olympic break. And we're going to touch on this here in just a minute as well. But what I wanted to touch on is that we've got those 3 now. What's the scenario that we're looking at? The scenario that I'm looking at is, yes, Bussi is great. He's been playing great. He did have a little bit of a slump, but in the last 2 or 3 games, he's really played good, and he's really solid goaltender. But I think just because there's a lot of unknown there, Freddie will get the nod for game 1. Game 2, I think Bussi will play. As far as Kochetkov is concerned, I feel like that he's going to come in, and he will come in if there's an emergency and they need him. Or also, like I said just a minute ago, I think that they will go in and pull one or the other if they start slumping. If they lose a couple of games, I don't think that they may allow them to lose 3, but I highly doubt it. And I think at that point they would pull Kochetkov and put whichever one's struggling a little bit and pull them, give them a breather, give them a break, and let Kochetkov run a few games, maybe 2 or 3 games to give that one goalie a break, and then put the other goalie back in. And then after that, I think that they could tend to and stand to rest Freddie Anderson, maybe playing Bussi 2 games, bringing Kochetkov in for a 3rd game, bringing Freddie in for a 4th game like that, and then rotating them after the 3rd round, rotating them on a 3 goalie basis, depending on how Kochetkov does from there. Otherwise, I think it'd be a 2 goalie tandem in the last round. So yes, I think that we'll make it all the way. I've said that from the beginning, since before the season started. If you don't remember, I got it wrote down. I wrote it down.
An envelope.
Sealed it in the envelope, and it's still sealed in the envelope in my desk drawer. So nobody's tampered with it, but it has been sealed since whenever I did that.
Yeah.
What's going on, Jeff?
He said,
hey, better late than never.
That's true.
Better late than never. I'm sure the coach probably has a game day set up already. Yeah. And, that's another thing. But also, as I was talking earlier and I got kind of sidetracked a little bit, I was listening to Adam Gold, and he made a lot of sense, and I agree with him on this 100%. The Hurricanes in the first couple of rounds in past playoffs, anytime they're 90% or better as a group, then they tend to move to the next round. So in the second round, if they're 90% or better, then they'll move to the 3rd round, and then from there. But yeah, as a group of 3 goalies, if they play and they're at least 90%, they go to the finals, and that's proven with them. That's proven, and I agree 100% with Adam Gold on that. And y'all know me from last season and some this season when we talk about him. There's things that I disagree with him on quite a bit, but this I have to agree with him 100% on that.
I think the point that I would like to make is we have 3 this year, 3 scoring lines. We didn't have last year. And also, I'd like to point out in the playoffs last year, even though that's not a roadmap for how this year will go, we had 3 rookies playing last year because we didn't have a choice due to injuries.
Yeah. Now,
Nikishin is better. He knows our system now.
mm-hmm.
Kale Miller knows our system now. It's been a whole season in the system. Nikolai Ehlers has been peaking. Him, Svechnikov, Stankoven's been hot.
Yep.
I mean, we've had some players that have been hot lately, and I'm hoping that they don't cool down because it's the playoffs. But 3 legitimate scoring lines. You've got 2 goalies. You've got a third goalie who's just come back from injury. The table is set. If we stay healthy, it's ours to lose.
Yep.
Now, I don't think the Ottawa game is going to be a walk in the park. I think the Canes win in 6 games. I think Ottawa's going to present some challenges. And that's where I think Nick Delorier comes in.
Yep.
And I think they're going to need him to set the tone and let the Chuck brother know we ain't going to mess around. You ain't going to push. And
you can run your mouth all you want to, and you can instigate all you want to, but
he'll drop you.
But he's going to lower the level on you, buddy. And I want to see it. I want to see him hurt Tkachuk.
I want this to be kid friendly, but anyone who was watching the last game where the player said something and Delorier said something to him from the bench, like, come on, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Guy backed away and didn't want anything to do with Delorier. And then if you read Delorier's lips, I'm not going to repeat that. It's pretty clear how he felt about that guy.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't drop gloves, because he was willing to drop gloves after that dirty hit.
Yeah.
That was leveled. But I just want to say it's nice to have someone on the team this year who will put somebody down. And obviously we saw what Nikishin looked like when he was disinterested in fighting somebody earlier this year. So I don't think I really wants to tangle with him, because that was the most disinterested in a fight I think I've ever seen a player that fought. And they just beat him down.
You could, when he started talking junk to him, you could see the fear in his eyes. Like, I think I might get my butt whooped if I get out there on the ice with him. But he didn't. He skated past him a couple of times, and they played, nothing to it. You don't want to fight, you don't want to fight, and I respect that. So,
and Rod's not a proponent of it. I understand that Rod likes that they take up for each other, but I don't think he wants just mindless fighting, because that causes penalties and that puts you at a disadvantage, which hurts us. But our 5-on-5 play this year, especially lately, has been good. And our power play recently has been good.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody knows, but it was
Ron.
Power play wasn't that great.
No.
The power play has picked it up. Putting Stahl on the power play, I think, helped.
That was a really good idea.
Really think that helped. Ron says it was very clear. Yes, it was, Ron.
Yep.
Yes, it was. And I've got a lot of feelings about this. I don't think Ottawa's going to go quietly into the night. It's the playoffs, guys. I mean, they got some good players. I think we're better than them. I think it goes 6 games. That's just my opinion.
I feel the same way. I think it could. I feel like that Canes will definitely win the first round, no matter who we play.
Remember, the winner gets either Pittsburgh or Philadelphia.
Yeah. Now, and this year, I've never really seen the playoff brackets and the run for the end of the season and throughout the season be as close as this season has been. This is the closest in points that I've seen seasons in past seasons, the points this close to it.
You got 2 comments. You got Ricky Duke says, you guys made me think of something funny. And
what's that, Ricky?
David Carney says, what team would you be most worried about for the Canes to handle? This year, I would probably say that would be Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
If we face them on the other side, which would be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Montreal posed problems for us this year, and they won the series against us, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. So the
Yeah,
Habs had our number. They're probably worrying me more. I feel like we're a better matchup for the Lightning. I believe we did win the series against Buffalo.
we did.
Buffalo means that we're knocking out Eric Stahl, because if anyone doesn't know, he is special assistant to the general manager for Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And, I want. Who? Buffalo scored.
Years ago, there was a player on the Charlotte Checkers who came out to the Bad to the Bone song, and all he did was fight. Yeah,
I know who he's talking about, but I can't remember the name of the player.
remember his name.
Talking about.
Yeah.
Good stuff, guys. You guys got good comments tonight. Keep it coming.
Yep.
If you got questions,
Yeah.
comments, queries,
Yep. But
winning lottery tickets to us, we'll take them.
heck yeah, you got a win lottery ticket laying around. Feel free to drop me a message and ask me for my address, and I'll gladly take it off your hands.
Ron says on a shorty.
On
That
a
means
shorty.
Shorty. It was a shorty, short-handed.
Yeah.
I've got feelings that like I said, David, the team I'm worried about most is probably the Habs, the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
I'll answer with who he thinks might not be the best matchup, but this year, based on the regular season, that's my opinion.
Yeah, well, there goes my water in the floor. Let's see here. I don't even care. Let's see here. Let me pull up the website here. I was just looking at. For me, in the Eastern Conference, well, we know we're either going to play the Bruins or the Senators first. From what rumor I've heard, I don't know.
What's locked in? We're playing Ottawa. We know that.
Well, Ottawa, yeah, okay.
Ottawa's
So, the last I'd heard was yesterday, and it was either Boston or Ottawa. So,
if we win, we play Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, because that's
right.
Our bracket.
Yeah. So, out of those,
who? Dallas scored.
So it's tied up.
Yep.
Out of those, I would have to agree. I'd have to agree with you. Montreal is my fear.
I think they're hungry, man. They have had a killer season, and I don't fear them, but I think that they pose challenges for us.
Yeah. And one team that really surprised me this year, and not in the way of them winning, but in how in the games they lost, was Florida. I know they did away with some players, and they brought some new players in, and those players were kind of aging, and they are aging out. But with the style of play that they had with their former teams, I thought they would be like another top contender for another cup. And then here they are, 14th in the conference. I mean, that was kind of a opposite direction of what I thought they were going to go myself.
The
because
7-3 last 10.
You look at the names and stats from last year that those players had that came in, and you're looking at like, holy crap, they've got a powerhouse. Yeah. And I get, with those players they brought in and the players they had, the chemistry just wasn't there, and it wasn't working like they thought. So
they had some injuries too. So
yeah,
that also.
Yeah. So my thing is maybe they give it another season, see what this group can do, and then maybe go for some wholesale changes after that. I don't know. And the New York Rangers, we know what their issue was and continues to be, just inexperience. And they got rid of a bunch of their experienced players, their veterans, which I think was a smart move. But and I touched on this earlier in the season. Carolina Hurricanes has found something that works. And when they bring players in, And what they do, what I've noticed they'll do is they brought one group in, and we still have our core players, and they bring in, they'll get rid of a few players here and there and bring in some younger players, and then they'll get rid of a few of the older players here there, and they'll bring in more younger players, and then about a second, third season, that first group of young players, they're getting kind of in the process of, okay, I know the system, and you're going to see them either excel or stay where they're at or even decline. And so that next season, they'll get rid of some of those players, bring in some new players, and then you have that second group of players. And they're all the time rotating players in that seem to make sense. And the ones that don't, they get rid of them. And so I think they found that chemistry and that right amount of players to bring in, that right amount of players to get out, that right amount of players that that they made their core, the right amount of players and the right mix of players, meaning their style of play that matches up best. And they're starting to form that new core of players. So when the other players age out that are in the core now, those players will take over that center core and be the team of the future. And you don't see that in some of the other teams like the Panthers, like the Rangers, even down like Vancouver and Calgary. Even they had their team together for quite a while, and you're seeing those guys break up, and they're just not performing like they used to. And I think you're going to see some wholesale changes coming again for some of those other teams down at the bottom of the list that used to be good, and now they're not. But I just like the way Carolina circulates players in and out, because they get rid of the non-performers, they get rid of some of the older players, and you're left with a good, healthy core of players.
They got about 2 more seasons of the majority of that core held together based on the contracts that are signed. Obviously, next year's Kochekov's last year, his contract. Stahl, Martin Nickel being the last year of their contract. I mean, this year, the last players that are in the last year of their contract are Delorier, Janikowski, and Freddie. And we know that Joel Nystrom signed an NHL contract for next year.
Yeah. Yep. And
comment.
Ricky, that's I was too. I was highly surprised on that one. David Carey, it's Montreal's goaltending Canes has a problem with. We were all over them in the last game. Most of the game was in Montreal's end. Yeah. And and another thing, David, I've noticed, and I've mentioned this to Josh quite a bit, is the passing. The passing, they seem to, when they're passing here in the last, I don't know, 6 or 8 games or so, when they're passing the puck way ahead of the guy, and he's not able to catch up to it. And their puck management has suffered quite a bit too. And I think if they can get those two things down, if they can manage the puck, and I'm not saying like in the last the last 3 or 4 games, they did pretty decent at puck management. And I think that once they get that physicality down and they can manage the puck a little bit better, and their passing is a little bit more crisp and a little bit stronger, and you're not just whacking the puck across the ice, but you're, to get it to the other player and it gets stolen and taken away, I think that you will have God darn it. I think that you'll have a really good opportunity of seeing the Hurricanes performing a little bit better on the ice coming into playoffs doing that. I just really feel that way, because and that's mainly the two things, game after game after game in the past, I don't know, 8 games before the last 3 or 4 games that they played of the season. I've seen that's where their weak points are. And their puck management has got to improve going into the first game of the series. That's just point blank.
I agree. It's got to improve. And the player that worries me with Montreal is their goaltender Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
He's played really well this year. Uh, I got nothing but respect. I mean, goalies are a hard commodity to find in the NHL that are consistent. We've seen so many players have a breakout year, and then the following year, it's like they're not as good. I mean, look at Sergei Bobrovsky for your example. Last year, they won the Cup back-to-back, and then this year, they didn't even make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobrovsky did not have a great season.
No.
But that's who worries me more on the side of the East is the Canadiens.
Yeah.
Montreal.
Yeah.
Any other team I feel like we match up with really well, or we can find weaknesses too. But man, and in the last game we played well, but man, it just felt like they had our number in a couple of those games we played against them this year. If I'm remembering correctly, I mean 82 games is a lot to remember.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's and I like how when we played, who was it that we played that we swept? Because we played them back to back. I can't remember who it was right off. I think it was Jersey that we.
Did we sweep New Jersey this year?
I think so.
We might have.
I think it was. I'm trying to remember, but I know it was one of the teams that we swept, and it was the last few games. No, it was the Penguins. I think the Penguins we swept. And because we went to the Penguins game when they were in.
Yeah, we're both there.
They're like, huh? Yeah.
You were there now, and I was there for that one.
Yep. And I mean, that's the first time I've seen them play in person, Pittsburgh. And that was pretty cool to see Sid Kidd out there. I'm not gonna lie, got some good pictures of him. And but yeah, Montreal has just had our number. They have been really good. They've been really good. What's going on, Robert?
Yeah, Robert's got a good comment here.
Lost first game to Penguin. Yeah, 5-1. Yep, you're right. What team was it that we swept? I'm trying to remember because it was one of the later games that we played this season that we played them back to back. Like we played all three games, like dang near back to back. But
I don't remember off the top of my head.
But you look at the Avalanche. I mean, they started off and they hit a slump. And they hit a slump there for a few games. And then they picked right back up and they were right back at it again. And it was like, wow. Holy crap.
They are all gas and no brakes.
Dude.
Colorado, man. All gas, no brakes.
Yeah. And it's gonna be very interesting. Very interesting. I think you were right with New Jersey. Yeah, I think so, Robert. I think so. I think it was New Jersey that we swept.
Honestly,
it was
better this year.
Huh?
Honestly, thought New Jersey with the Hughes brothers. I thought they were going to be better this year. They ended up not in the playoffs.
Yeah, I did too.
And man, Philadelphia just squeaked in at the end.
Yeah.
They draw the Penguins, and Penguins are good, man. They traded for Skinner.
Yep.
I think he's helped them a lot.
Man, I'm going to tell you the division that I was really starting to get worried about, and that was the Pacific Division. I didn't think any of those teams were going to make it.
Yeah, we did.
Andy, what's going on, man?
Andy's got a good comment.
We played Philadelphia back-to-back in December and swept them. Yep.
That's right, we did.
Yep.
Over 81 games, there's so much to remember.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one.
Yeah, and also, guys, and there was a comment that you made a while ago, and I wanted to remember it. Now I've almost forgotten it. and that was talking about Montreal. That's a question that I would really love to, or a conversation I'd really love to have with Jeff Daniels this coming interview. I just emailed him the other day, and it's looking like we're going to try and shape up an in-person interview with him. So I'm really stoked about that, for that opportunity. If he and I can make it happen, and it works for both of us to get in the location, hopefully we can get into the Lenovo Center somewhere and do the interview. But, I don't know, with the construction going on, I don't know what or where we would be able to go. Maybe the locker room, that would be sweet.
I think Buffalo just scored.
But yeah.
That would be cool if he could get us in to do the in-person interview. They have a couple of rooms that aren't under construction that they could use.
Yeah.
But I don't know, obviously if that would be okay. I mean, obviously they're not going to let us, other than our interview with him, they're not going to let us record anything, which is fine. And I mean, I'm not trying to go in there and
No.
see anything we're not supposed to see.
No.
But that would be very cool if we could do the Lenovo Center.
Yeah.
Be
Here's the latest on the scores. Sabres over Stars 3-2. Rangers over Lightning 3-0. Panthers over Red Wings 5-0. Senators over the Maple Leafs 1-0. And that one is 13-19 left in the first. And it's a 5-on-4 situation. Maple Leafs are on the power play. So
there's some good stuff, man.
Yep.
I don't believe we lost to the Rangers this year, did we?
No, we swept the Rangers too.
I'm pretty sure we didn't lose to the Rangers.
No, we didn't.
I know we lost to Montreal in March.
Yeah.
Because I remember that it was like 3-1 or 4-2 or something like that. It was they beat us, and I mean they beat us good. We got a comment from Andy House. The Legacy Club is awesome. If he could let y'all in there to do an interview. I was down there for the video shoot for the playoffs, and it's awesome. Those bunker suites. That would be cool if he could get us in.
Yeah.
I mean, cool. I've been up to the second deck where they did the Eric Stahl celebration, and also where they did the 20-year Cup reunion.
Yeah.
This year.
And guys, I know there's a lot of superstition with those guys and the coaches as well. And, I'm not going to infringe on that. That's them. That's their thing. So, I'm going to ask, is there anywhere in the Lenovo Center we could do the interview? Maybe the coach's office, maybe inside the locker room. That'd be pretty dang cool. And,
I mean, even if we could set it up in a common area on one of the concourses.
Yeah.
That would be cool with the ice as a backdrop. That would be fantastic.
Well, the ice will probably be melted down by then. So.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. Hopefully, maybe it's the day that they let everybody come paint the ice. They let the season ticket holders do that at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got another comment.
Our goaltending comes through with our team. We should
make it to the third round.
But can we handle the Colorado Avalanche? That's a good question, man.
We beat them shootout back in October. That was on the first road trip that we took out west. Mm-hmm. I remember that game, but I don't remember if we played them after that. I think we only played them one time this year. No, excuse me. We did play them a second time, January 3rd, and they won 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
So we were 1-1. I mean, honestly, we have three really good scoring lines. They do have McCarr on defense, who is fantastic.
Mhm.
Obviously, Nathan McKinnon and Martin Necas. Jesus, that guy just hit 100 points for the first time in his career this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got talent, man. They got some talent, but I put our guys up against them any day of the week. We got 3 legitimate scoring lines.
Yeah. Well, the Lightning just scored. It's 3-1, and the Red Wings just scored 5-1. Panthers over the Red Wings. Rangers over the Lightning 3-1. Panthers over the Red Wings 5-1. And the Senators are 1-0. 53 seconds left on the power play for the Maple Leafs.
We lost to Montreal on the first day of the new year.
Yep.
And then I know in March we lost to them. Yep. So, yeah, Montreal is probably the one team. Wow. We lost to them twice in March. So we lost to them 3 games, Montreal.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I kind of fear them, they had our number.
Yeah.
And
somebody did their homework somewhere on our style of play there.
I know that we had people injured in and out of the lineup. If you came to me at the beginning of the year and said that Gostafir was going to be in and out of the lineup, Chatfield was going to be in and out of the lineup, Keandre Miller was going to miss time. If you came to me and told me as many injuries as we were going to have in and out of the lineup and said, do you believe that we're going to finish first in the Eastern Conference in points, win the Metro Division as well, would I have believed it? Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, but you look at the talent that we brought up, man. They brought the best talent from the AHL up, and they've really, really hung in there and performed this season. And I think that just goes to show, from last season to this season, those guys have really stepped up and they've really played. And you can see the improvement that they've made since last season. That just goes to show you, the system played there in Chicago with Spiros at the helm there. That's just a testament of how they're doing that and how that system's being played, on all levels, not just our level here in the NHL. But yeah,
that's a great comment.
But yet we outshot them in all the games we played.
It's not the quantity; it's the quality.
Yeah, we did outshoot them. I think we outshot them in every single game, David.
Yeah, I'd be, without looking at it, I'd be almost certain that we did, because we outshoot teams.
Yeah.
And we had some bad nights against them. But like I said, that's the only team that really gives me any worry, and that's because they played us so well in the regular season.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, they don't scare me, and I do believe that Rod would have the boys prepared.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he would watch the game tape.
We
Ricky,
got to hope off guys so I can get my wife to help me change messages. All right.
Ricky, you take it easy, man. Heal up.
Yep.
Feel.
Well, it's been good seeing you, Ricky, and having you in, man. Godspeed, man. Hope you get better and
Feel
continue
better.
to improve. No more hospital, man. No more hospital.
Stay out of there if you can. Get better.
Yeah. But
no, we didn't sweep the Rangers this year either. I'm looking.
Yeah, good talking to you too, Ricky.
They beat us one game.
Yeah.
We are the better team. Just have to figure out their goaltending. That's really, David, what I believe. Stars just scored. But David,
I feel you, Ricky.
If Dobbs is playing, he's probably the one that really worries me the most, because he's had a really good year for them. But aside from that, I'll be honest with you. I think we can take them. I think we're in tune now. Ricky, take it easy, buddy.
Yep, we'll see you, man. You have a good night too. The game is tied up. Stars Sabres is 3-3.
Good comments tonight, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it was really good. Really good
discussion.
That's what we're looking for in these lives, guys.
I mean, if you don't agree with our opinions, that's totally fine. If you guys think differently or you're not sure of something, feel free to drop your opinion. I mean, we're here for discussion. All we have, everybody keeps it civil. If you disagree, that's fine. But like I said, I believe that the Canes have got everything they need this year. It's been proven you don't have to have the best goaltending in the league to win the cup.
You don't even have to have the best players. And, you know, and I think that's the thing that people are looking at with the Avalanche is looking at how they have just spiked and they've been on a roll. At some point, that consistency is going to break.
That's true, Dave.
Now, whether it was now or whether it's in the playoffs, at some point that consistency is going to break. They can't go on like that. And it's not going to go on like that. And I think the closer to the end of the playoffs, you're going to see them break.
I feel good with how we played the Penguins in the regular season. If we play them in the second round, obviously Philadelphia got the better of us the other night. But for the most part, I feel like we're the better team. We have better talent. We have 3 legitimate scoring lines.
Yep.
We've got 2 goaltenders, one who had an outstanding regular season for a rookie year. And Anderson, when he's not overworked, he can be at least good, not great, but good. And if the team plays well in front of him and we're not turning the puck over, I think that bodes well for us.
Yeah.
But
it goes back to what we were saying earlier. I think that if Carolina's goaltending, all 3 of them, I think if they, as a group, can maintain a 90% save average, I think we win. I think we go to the end and win. And, of course, that's going to take some of the players. That's going to take some of the skaters being on point throughout the whole playoffs. They cannot slack. Now, you know, you've worked this hard, this long to get to where you're at. It's not time to let up. It's time to press that gas even harder and go harder.
Andy Andy says, I don't know if it was mentioned in the beginning. A stat that I heard the other night was that the Canes haven't won 52 games or more since the 06 Cup team until now. So I think it's our year. I mean, if not us, then who? Andy, I believe it's ours to lose. We have enough talent. We are deep enough. The goaltending and staying healthy are the questions. Those are things that have been our problems previously. We're pretty healthy right now going into the playoffs, so I feel good there. David Carey says, I agree. David says, it's our year. David, I think it's ours to lose.
It is. I've said it from the beginning, and I honestly feel that way.
It would be poetic 20 years later to win it again.
Yeah.
It would be poetic, Andy and David. 20 years later, we raise it. It would be absolutely phenomenal.
That would be awesome.
Oh, it would be
absolutely awesome. Now, you know, and, you know, as great as it is, I mean, it would be a great story. You know, but you look at the players that we have currently. I think this is the best roster, even call-ups roster that we've had probably in 20 years.
This is one of the better rosters we've had. The 07, the year after the Cup, wasn't a bad roster either. Mm-hmm. We did lose some people to free agency. That was still a good roster. This probably is the best talent-wise as far as goal scoring. I mean, we broke a record. 720 goal scorers, franchise record, the most we've had on a team. And had an 8th player 2 goals away in Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. I mean, we're at the end of the regular season. Keandre Miller has had a full season in our system. Nikishin's had a full season in our system. We have all the talent we need. We have the right talent. I believe we have the right pieces. Can we stay healthy? That's That's the biggest question that I have. And will our goaltending hold? I agree with the roster being the best. It is. I mean, it's the best that we've
by far.
in a long time. I mean,
You've
geez.
got 7 players with 20 goals or more, and that's the first. That's like first time that
First time.
So, and then you look at, and then points total. I mean, good grief. I mean, let's go. Let's hold on a second. Let me get there. And
It was 113. I think it was 113, wasn't it?
let's see. I'm getting there. Stats. So, okay. So we've got Sebastian Aho with 80, Nikolai Ehlers with 71, Andrei Shezhnikov with 70 points, Seth Jarvis with 66, Jackson Blake with 53, Shane Gostisbehere with 50. So our top 6 players are 50 and better. Now you go on down, Logan Stankoven at 44, Taylor Hall at 48.
Blake, I think, had 50, didn't he?
Blake had, he had 53
in his sophomore year.
Yeah. And then you look at Keandre Miller, 37, Jordan Stahl, 36, Alexander Nikishin, 33, his true rookie year. Sean Walker, 31, Jordan Martin at 29, and then it goes down a little bit to Jankowski, 21, Eric Robinson, 18, Will Carrier, 18, Jalen Chatfield, 17, which I think how many points did he have last season? 18?
Maybe.
I think he had 18, which was higher than his previous year with 16. And now he just dropped 1 point here with 17 points, which he's plus 15 on the season.
Robert with another really good comment, man. Ehlers has come in and taken our roster to a new level. Halsey having a full year also has taken our younger guys to an incredible level. I mean, we look really good. I mean, Stankoven is finally starting to get there. And it took a little longer than I think we wanted. And obviously, we know that the team wants him to be closer to 50% for faceoffs.
Yeah.
Stahl led the faceoff percentage at 55%,
mm-hmm.
which is really good. I mean, that's huge. We want Stankoven, who was around 42% a few games ago, and I haven't looked at it since. But I know one of those games, the first 6 out of 7 faceoffs, he won.
Yeah.
Stankoven won.
He's starting to really warm up to that center position. I mean, he's really done good.
Getting there.
Really done good.
And we know he's been working on it behind the scenes. Yeah. They've talked about it. We know that Rod stayed after and was working with him at one of the practices, and they were working on it. I mean, Aho's been playing well. He's been quietly flying under the radar, I think, this year. Svechnikov, after not scoring, I think, in the first 7 or 8 games to start the season, not even having a point, has come on strong. He's picked up, and he looks like he did last year in the playoffs. Of course, Stankoven had a good playoffs last year. I mean, we're poised, man. We got a deep roster. I would put our deep roster up against anybody else's in the league. 3 legitimate scoring lines, and that line that's got Stankoven, Hall, and Blake. Oh, buddy, that second line has been nothing but good things. And you put Stahl and Martinook with Ehlers.
Yeah,
they've been. And then you got that first line. You got Jarvis. You got Svech, and you got What the frack, man? And the
line's popping, man. Now here's the question to you guys that are still on. Out of the rookies, or not the rookies, but out of the call-ups, who is the one player that you would love to see on the ice when needed? There's quite a few for me, but
I'll give you one offensive and one defensive, and then we'll see who they comment with. Offensively, for winger, Bradley Nadeau.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, Man, it's hard. Joel Nystrom, or I'm going to go either or here, or Charles Alexis Legault.
That's what I was going to say.
Because Legault was looking really good before he
Everything. That was exactly what I was going to say.
Those are the two defensively who I think stood out the most to me.
Mm-hmm.
And Nadeau offensively, and he looked good the other night.
Yeah,
good. And I'll be honest with you, I think the Canes have a top 10 prospect pool in Chicago.
Yeah. And two, you got some really good players in Greensboro. I think give them a couple of more seasons. I think you're going to see them do some things there. Also, there was some call-ups from the Thunderbirds to the Gargoyles. There was some call-ups from the Fayetteville Marksmen to the Gargoyles. So congratulations to those guys. It was awesome to see that. I think Charles Alexis Legault, Bradley Nadeau, and
Joel Nystrom.
And
Joel Nystrom.
Nystrom. I think those three would be my top picks too. I mean, I was right there with you on that. I would love to see a little bit more of Skylar Brindamore. I think he's good. I think next season he's going to be something to deal with. I think he's going to be a really good player. He really showed some get up and go this opportunity that he had to play the other night. And I think he played the best the other night that he's played any game that he's played on the NHL level. So,
yeah, I mean, listen. You'll get no argument out of me. There's a lot of talent in Chicago. Unger Sorum, yeah. Robert in here. Sorum in Legault. I think Unger Sorum's going to be somebody to watch in the training camp year. When prospect case, in training camp, and we see the preseason games where they let some of the young guys play. Absolutely, Robert. I think that kid's got a heck of a shot.
Yep.
He really. And Charles Alexis Legault, I like his defensive tenaciousness, man. He's tenacious. But I hate that he had cut his hand, had to have surgery, and he was out for so long.
But man, when he come back, dude, he was on it.
Looking good.
He played really good.
He was looking.
You and I, we had this discussion as well, and that was, like Charles Alexis Legault and players like that, that's really been, he come back and he's really done well. He's really performed. 100%. And I think that, like Robitaille, Nadeau, Legault,
Robitaille's
Forum, Brindamore.
He's only going to get better.
Slavin, I think that's going to be your new core there. I think that's going to be the core players for them there. I'd be highly surprised seeing Legault come back and playing the way he's played. I seriously doubt seeing them get rid of him in a trade of any kind right now. I really do. I mean, there for a while, you and I both were kind of on the fence, like, well, yeah, I could see them getting rid of him, but man, after that, dude, I just don't see him doing that. He played mean, and that's see that sandpaper. Yeah, I agree 100% there.
You hit the nail on the head with that. I mean,
yeah.
Legault and Nystrom are the two future NHLers that we have on defense. And I think Ronan Seeley is a good defenseman for Chicago too. The other thing I'll say is we know that Nystrom's already got an NHL contract next year.
Uh-huh.
So more than likely, my guess, and this is an educated guess based on how many players can be on your NHL roster, Mike Riley's probably not coming back. And
I would agree with that. You and I talked about that in great depth.
If you can keep Legault and tell him potentially he could be somebody who calls up and we can keep him another year and find a way to work him in, I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I really do. The other player I've got some question marks about is obviously everybody knows Kotkaniemi isn't getting a lot of playing time. And if you can find someone and do a really good trade, you can get $4.8 million back on the salary cap.
Yep.
And that's a lot of money we could put into another piece. But the other player, and this is the player that I find that really intrigues me, because he plays center and he also plays on the penalty kill, is Janikowski.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if we're going to keep him, because if they really are looking to let Kokanemi go, I think you keep Janikowski, because center him in the league.
Yep.
And he doesn't have as high a ceiling as a lot of other players, but for a fourth line center and for a penalty kill guy, especially a guy who's long and tall and long arms, he gives you a lot of things, a lot of attributes that you're looking.
Yeah. And this is something too. You know, you look at Jankowski and how he's played this season, and he's played just as good this season as he has in some of his better seasons when he was younger.
He's played really well for a guy who's 31.
Yeah.
We're talking about a big guy. He's 6'4". I'm pretty sure he's like 215 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's gotten a chance to play and he's not had to go back and forth and he's been able to find his groove. I mean, I think he played 68 games he played in this year. He had 11 goals. He had 10 assists for 21 points. He was +7 when he was on the ice.
200 pounds. A romping, stomping, scoring machine.
Long arms. I think his stick might be that he plays with, because when you see them, they do that sweeping move when they're on the penalty kill.
Mm-hmm.
His stick looks like it's every bit as long as Stahl's.
Yeah.
And those two guys they just have reach, and it's something you want. It disrupts. It makes players have to do things.
Yeah.
Let's see. What does Robert say here? Robert says, Janko, great fourth liner. I think he's a great fourth liner. Now, he doesn't have as much upside, and I'd like to see him win in the faceoff circle a little bit more. But for what we need in a fourth liner, because Rod typically rolls 3 lines and that fourth line will play sparingly, I think he fits it. And, you know, you've got Carrier and you've got Robinson who can play alongside him. And both of those players have shown, when healthy, especially Carrier and Robinson, have shown that they're formidable. I mean, they can put pucks in the net too if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, fourth line's probably not our strongest, but I do feel like there's some talent there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The question is, and I know this is kind of looking ahead, and we'll get more into this at the end of the playoffs, but what other players potentially could make the roster next year?
Yeah.
I mean, Felix Unger-Sorum is definitely one. Justin Robitaille has played really well.
Go.
We know Nystrom's already got an NHL contract. I mean, there's some players, you know, like Blake did in the prospect showcase, and then in the preseason, he made his case year before last and ended up on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's some definitely some good talent in Chicago.
Yep.
And 2 to 3 players right now who could probably be on a third pair defensively or a third or a fourth line.
Yeah. Now, guys, if you haven't really, if you don't know really that much about the Chicago Wolves and especially their coach,
Ferris.
I did an interview with him, and that's on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go there and check that out, it's the YouTube channel's the same name as the group, Carolina Hurricanes Fans Only, spelled the same way with the capitals in the same spot. So the capital letters in the same spot, that is. So go there and check that interview out. It was really good. It was a really good interview. And I'm looking forward to interviewing him again. I'm going to get that set up pretty soon as well. So that'll be 2 interviews coming probably sometime during the off season. So hopefully for him, they extend him a contract for the head coach position there. I think he'd be a really good addition to that position.
Definitely an asset, man.
Yeah.
Definitely an asset.
Yep. So he's come a long way, and getting to know him has been a real privilege. And I have to thank one of my buddies for that I've known for, shucks, I don't know, 40 years, or well, 30 years.
It says, when do the playoffs start? Saturday.
Yeah, playoffs start Saturday.
Officially, the start of the playoffs, the 18th. We know that there's a 2:00 slot, a 5:00 slot, and an 8:00 slot for.
We're just unsure of when the Canes are playing, whether they're playing that Saturday or Sunday. That's yet to be figured out. And with both sides brackets set, I think they're in the process of making the bracket now. I think once they get the bracket finalized and reviewed, then we'll see at some point tomorrow. I'd say probably by 3:00, maybe 5:00 tomorrow evening, Western time, 3:00 Western time to 5:00 Western time. I think we could see a schedule out, because the games that are played tonight doesn't matter, and they're either already in or they're out. So, I think that's probably what they're waiting on, is making it, getting the schedule finalized and then putting it out tomorrow at some point.
We'll know more probably tomorrow. The last games of the season are tomorrow. The playoffs for the East, I know, are set with who's playing who. The West were the ones that had questions. The rumor is, and it's not confirmed, the Canes will play Saturday and Monday. We'll know tomorrow. And that's really all I got, unless you guys have any other questions, comments.
That's all I got.
Want to donate to us, we'll take those.
Yeah, we'll take donations if you'd like. We'll pass the plate around.
Or if you got playoff tickets you want to donate, we'll take those.
We're not shameless.
I'm just saying.
If you got glass seats to the first game of the playoffs, hey, we'll take them. If you want to donate them.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I can be wishful.
Yeah, you can be wishful thinking. Yeah. Right. All right, guys, that's all we got, man. This was a good show tonight. Thank you guys for showing up.
Thanks for joining.
You guys probably salvaged a live or two here and there. So,
yep.
But we appreciate it. This was great. This was great interaction.
Good conversation.
This was really awesome. Thank you, guys. This is what we do it for. This is exactly what we do this for. Right? This stuff right here.
Indeed. 100%.
Exactly why we do this. So, awesome. Awesome, guys. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you all, everybody who came in, all the comments, all the questions. It was awesome. Josh and I are going to get together a little later on. We may do live, I don't know, maybe after the first round.
We'll see.
Most definitely, if not after the first round, definitely after the second round. So, yeah. And, yep. See, David already knows the drill.
See you first game. Go Canes.
Yep.
David, go Canes.
Yep. And that's it, man. That's all I got.
All right. That's it. That's
also,
all.
Guys, if you haven't already, go to Really.com and go check them out. This is the plantain sweets. They are 100% grain-free, seed oil-free, gluten-free, dairy-free. They are free of the top 12 allergens, glyphosate-free, and they only have 2 ingredients in this flavor, as they do in all the flavors: sea salt and plantain, sea salt and cassava, and here, sea salt and sweet. This is only the natural sweet that comes from the plantain, and there's nothing added to it. So the only thing that's in this is the plantain itself, and it's sustainable palm fruit oil that they're baked in, so, or fried in, whatever they do with them. But go check them out. All capital letters, Hurricanes 25 to save 25% at checkout at Reelie.com, REELIE.com. So go check them out. Buy a box. You buy them in bulk. You actually save on the original price. You actually save a little bit on buying them in bulk like that than you do in the grocery stores, but you'll really save when you use that checkout code Hurricanes25, all capital letters. So go check them out. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
All right. Let's go, Canes. It's playoff time, baby. Woo.